Not too long ago, there was a brief exchange of Skyrim mods using a program similar to Willow Tree. A modding program used to create custom guns for Borderlands on the PC and Xbox. This program is more of a save editor though, not one that solely edited weapons, and most only use it for the Xbox since the PC has a much better mod tool. Anyways, someone decided it would be cool to actually create a mod that was much like the famous Creepypasta, Jvks1166.esm mod for Morrowind, which the majority of players claim to be a hoax and made-up story, to which I agree. If you don't know what the mod is, I suggest you Google it. It's pretty interesting. So this mod is a surprisingly small file that held only a few scripts. Most players downloaded it because it was easily removable. The mod is called Jvksky1166.esm, a supposed brainchild to the Morrowind hoax. Most players experience the mod to cause the Whiterun town crier Hemskir to engage in dialogue with you as if it were an event, but not actually having any dialogue. Other players report that the mod does nothing. Someone discovered that if you have the book titled Killing Before You're Killed, then some weird things begin to happen. I have a friend that I met on Xbox Live playing Borderlands 2 together, and he was using the mod. He was the first person I heard from about this. He was really involved in it and even maintained a topic on a modding forum about it. The activation key for the mod is having the book previously mentioned in your inventory. Hemskir will engage in dialogue with you if you have the book, but he actually has something to tell you. He simply says, "It's time," and then moves from his regular town crier spot. If you follow him, you find him go to the Dragon's Reach prison under the Jarl's place. But if you enter after he does, he's nowhere to be found. The mod does nothing else until you have played for a day in game time. After this time has passed, you can return to Whiterun and find that the entire city is empty, and that it's nighttime. Even if it were day when you entered the city through the gate, or fast-traveled from a nearby location. There's no music, no sound, no guards, nothing. The entire city was just odd. All the torches were put out, almost to the point that I needed a torch. It even reminded me of a necromancer altar you find throughout the game. But the creepiest thing was that Hemskir was sitting on a bench under the tree. So Whiterun remains this way. No more buying iron bars from the blacksmith or doing quests for the Jarl. The few players that have discovered this complained about story progress, saying that since the Jarl isn't there, you wouldn't be able to even progress the story. Thus a flaw in the mod. But the Jarl does return. No one really knows what triggers this, but you'll eventually be teleported to Whiterun, as if you have fast traveled there. I was doing some potion making when I got teleported. From every player I've spoken to, they all say that the day has changed to being the 13th of Rain's Hand. I did a little research and found that the Day of the Dead, a Breton holiday, is on the Elder Scroll calendar for the 13th of Rain's Hand. So on this day, the Jarl returns to his throne. After being teleported to Whiterun, things really start to seem like another game. When you appear on the city, you find a childlike figure standing in the distance, near the bar and general store in front of the well. You can't discern any facial features or sex. It almost looks like a blob of dark as a small humanoid shape. I went around to the rest of the shops after discovering that the Jarl returned to see if anyone else was back. And all through the city you'll find this dark blob in odd places, watching you, like in between two houses, on the top of a building in the distance, and near the blood falls leading up to the Jarl's place. Every time you try and approach this being, it just vanishes. Almost like the game skips a frame and then it's gone, but right before it vanishes you hear this echo of whispering. So I explored a little more, with the dark humanoid following me everywhere I turned, and decided to leave and go do other quests. But I found that the water everywhere has also turned to blood and bones while disposing of the vegetation throughout the lands. The ground even looks like I was walking on a living organism, because the grass roots now looked like veins. Again, no sound, no music, and it was dark. Even after I left Whiterun, the little humanoid followed me. I could walk backwards and see the figure teleport closer to me. With every 10 steps I took, it moved closer. The thing would even sometimes be behind a rock, with just its head being visible. I didn't really know what to do, because I hadn't received a quest or anything. I visited other cities and found the same thing as in Whiterun. I ended up returning to Whiterun, thinking that since it were the first place to have changed and still have the Jarl and Heimskir there, then there must be something significant. When you talk to Heimskir now, he starts almost prophesizing like he did as the town crier. This time he said, "It's near." I didn't know what it meant, but I figured this was progress. The events weren't really creeping me out too bad, until the little humanoid started appearing right in front of me, very close to my face, with a facial expression that I cannot even describe. It was so just disturbingly weird. I mean, it was dark, no music, no sound, and this thing appears right in front of me. And when it does, my camera would automatically go to the first-person view and lock for the duration she was standing in front of me. Almost a whole second. I have a subwoofer hooked up to my TV, so the only noise I hear is a very loud, deep bass note that faded after the humanoid vanished. So all of this happened over a day or two, made me set the game down for a bit. I had friends that wanted to play Borderlands too, so I was definitely up for that. But I really just needed to recover from something that disturbing. A few days later, I picked up Skyrim again, loading the game with the mod. The mod had been on my mind the past few days, and I wanted to know what Heimskir was talking about. What would be near? What time is it for? And why does the day still say the 13th of Rain's Hand? This time Heimskir was standing in front of me when I loaded up, almost like he was expecting me. The camera zoomed in on him, starting a dialogue event to which he said, "The time is here." After the dialogue, I received a note with blood-red text telling me to go to the Dragon's Reach dungeon. When I went to the jail, I took a left and saw this huge dial-looking device, almost like the door that took the Golden Claw. The door has several of the spinning dials on it, appearing to be in groups of 4 on 13. Different dials, much like the Golden Claw door, each dial had an inscription, but it wasn't an animal. The dials had what appeared to be Dwemer characters on it. After messing around with the dials for a while, I turned around to leave and saw that little humanoid was in the corner of the hallway, half of its body exposed. I was so freaked out that I rushed towards it with sword and shield. The figure disappeared with its whisper, dropping a skull. I never got past this point, but others have reported, including my friend, that the Jarl tells you to find it. I'm guessing the it refers to the little humanoid or to an item. My theory is that this little figure can be killed in some way, and drops a note with the key combination to the device. Or there's this note hidden throughout Skyrim somewhere. Or maybe Heimskir has it. I've yet to hear from anyone else concerning further progress on the mod, but my friend said something about finding random skulls in his other playthroughs. A few others even said that they uninstalled the mod, sometimes still saw the little humanoid in the background while in dialogue with other NPCs. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of my Halloween extravaganza. This creepypasta actually has a little bit more of a story than most. And I actually recorded this one time before, but I decided that instead of posting it when I recorded it, I was going to wait till the release date of Skyrim Remastered, which so happens to be today. I'm hoping that this video might have some Skyrim footage going along with it, but I don't know if that'll be probable. I'm planning on buying the game, and my Xbox One, of course, can record, so I'll try to tack some on, but I don't know if I can get it out in time if I do that. We'll see. But anyway, this particular pasta is actually no longer available on the internet. When the Creepypasta wiki, that, if you guys know me, you know I have a little bit of a problem with, when they purged all their gaming pastas, this is one of them that they got rid of. And it's not available any other place. If you Google it, the only thing you'll find is a narration by Creepypasta, which is where I first was introduced to this creepypasta. It's not as good as Jvksky1166.esm, but it's still a pretty good story, so I actually appealed to the Creepypasta wiki to undelete it. To which, of course, they said go fuck yourself, but they did give me a copy of the file. So, I'm the only one, besides I'm supposing the author, that actually has the story. When I post this up, I will be posting a copy of the story on Wattpad or whatever, you know, that shitty little website. So, at least other people can find it, and it's not completely gone from the internet. So if you guys want to check that out, then I'll link it in the description. But I hope you enjoyed this story. Only 3 more days till Halloween.